The history of playing cards. Close your eyes and picture a deck of cards. Did you think of a deck of red or blue bicycle playing cards? Chances are you did. Bicycle cards are the most widely recognized deck of cards in the world, and their iconic design is one we take for granted, especially magicians and poker players. The evolution of the modern-day deck of 52 cards is actually a process that took place over hundreds of years ago. And today, we're going to take an exclusive look at that journey. Gotcha! The origin of playing cards is a highly debated topic. Some scholars believe playing cards were developed in China as far back as the 9th century during the era of the Qing dynasty.
He's a monster.
Tang dynasty. Others believe playing cards were developed alongside tile games like dominoes or mahjong, or even have connections to chess or dice games. There is even some speculation that playing cards served as a play money for gambling games before eventually being integrated into the games themselves.
Meanwhile,
It's noises like that that keeps me from recording. I don't want that type of noise on my background. Sorry about that. In the earliest confirmed record of playing cards was found in a manuscript written by a German monk named Jonas in 1377. While living in a Swiss monastery, Jonas wrote about the development of playing cards and the variety of card games they could be used for. The popularity of playing cards continued to grow throughout the end of the 14th century and into the 15th century. During this time, however, European cards also introduced the idea of using four suits: the swords, clubs, cups, and coins, sometimes referred to as Latin suits. These suits may have origins in tarot cards and can still be found in Italian and Spanish playing cards to this day. The earliest playing cards were stunning, hand-painted masterpieces, particularly the court cards, while Italian playing cards featured a standard king, queen, knave, or prince, later known as jack. Spanish playing cards did not have any queens or tens, since they also didn't use eights or nines for the national game of hombre. Most Spanish decks would only have 40 cards. Due to their lavish nature, playing cards were typically reserved for the wealthiest and most noble individuals. However, as they became more popular, new methods were invented for producing them quicker and cheaper. As the availability of playing cards grew, they eventually made landfall in Germany, where they spread rapidly thanks to their popularity among soldiers. Using this innovative wood-cutting and engraving techniques, the Germans improved the ability to produce playing cards in massive quantities, exporting decks of cards all over Western Europe, Germany, and eventually became the world's leading playing card makers. The Germans also changed the Italian suits to custom images that reflected rural German life: hearts, leaves, acorns, and bells. During this process, the queens were also replaced with a secondary jack, and the aces were replaced by the twos as the highest card, creating a 48-card deck. During the early 15th century, the French inserted themselves into the lengthy history of playing cards by developing the suit imagery we find on playing cards to this day. Most importantly, though, They were also the first to develop the suits into two colors, red and black, like me.
I'm here because I'm black.
Simplifying the colors and symbols allowed playing card printers to create special stencils that drastically improved card manufacturing speeds. Combined with the continued development of paper manufacturing and enhanced printing processes, such as Gutenberg's printing press in 1440, the manufacturing playing cards were more efficient than ever. As a result, the French ultimately surpassed the Germans as the world's playing card powerhouse. Heavy taxes in France eventually forced some of the biggest playing card makers to relocate to Belgium. As a result, playing cards began to appear in new parts of Europe, including England, where we finally got the English names of the suits that we use today. Combining translations from both the Italian and French designs, the English created the names clubs, hearts, spade, and diamonds. The English are also responsible for making the ace of spades the most prominent and often customized playing card in a standard deck of cards. This all started when a new law prohibited English cards from leaving the factory until the card makers had proved their tax had been paid. Initially, the ace of spades had to be hand stamped. However, in 1828, it was decided a special ace of spades would need to be purchased from the commissioners for stamp duties. These unique cards would typically have elaborate designs alongside the manufacturer's name, a tradition that continues to this day, even after card makers were approved to start printing their own ace of spades again in 1862. In the 1860s, Thomas de la Rue, founder of the De La Rue Printing Company, also discovered ways to drastically increase the output and reduce the price of playing cards. As a result of his mass production, the lavish independent artwork often found on playing cards was replaced by the standardized designs we are most familiar with today. This included the introduction of a double-ended court card that prevented card players from having to turn their hand and expose the fact that they were holding a court card during a poker game. Interesting, isn't it? In the late 19th century, Americans still had a strong preference for English goods. In fact, some American card makers would even print the word London on their ace of spades to help drive sales. Among these manufacturers was Louis L. Cohen. In 1835, Cohen revolutionized playing card manufacturing with the development of a printing press that could print all four colors at once. He also guided the launch of the New York Consolidated Company in 1871. The company that ultimately introduced the idea of corner indices on their playing cards so players could see their cards with just a fan. The United States is also responsible for introducing jokers to the deck of playing cards around the year 1860. Initially, this card was called the Best Bower and served as the highest trump card to the massively popular trick-taking game of euchre. It wasn't until 1875 that we saw the first instance of a joker being used as a wild card in a game of poker. Overall, the most important role Americans played in the history of playing cards was helping standardize the design and streamline the manufacturing process for playing cards. Most notably, Russell Morgan and Company, which later became the United States Playing Card Company. Simply put, the history of playing cards is a long and fascinating journey that I hope you remember and appreciate every time you grab a deck of cards out of your dresser or drawer and sit down for a game of poker or perform your favorite card trick. And by the way, and did you know that the United States Playing Card Company, USPC, is the largest manufacturer of playing cards in the world and sells more than 100 million decks of playing cards per year, including more than 20 million decks to casinos. Fun fact. I've never been to a casino, believe it or not. I do a lot of card tricks, but I don't know how to play spades, Texas Hold'em, rummy, solitaire, blackjack, hearts, like none. I'm a beast at slapjack. I'm good at crazy eights, but I can't play them adult card games. I know it's hard to believe. Hope you enjoyed this video, and to my Gambiteers and beyond, see you later.